Jack, you've come away to the home of the league leaders. How did you rate kind of the overall performance today?
I think we did okay again. I think there are a lot of things that we need to improve on individually and collectively. But again, I think there was encouraging signs. I think our desire to be competitive in the game and the press and to try and play in the front foot was there. I think we created the two best opportunities in the early part of the game, and if we take them, then the whole game changes. Because it becomes difficult for them, and I think the game stretches a bit, which would have suited us. So I would say similar to the United game, for me, more positives than negatives, but still things we need to work on, and ultimately we've lost another game, so we need to hurt from that. We need to go and use that as motivation to go and drive on, and I've said to the players in there that this should be our benchmark to come in places like this and be competitive and look to be competing with teams like this to win the league. At the moment, the reality of our situation is that is not the case, because we need to look around closer to where we are on the table, win these matches, and then in the future start to look at this.
Obviously, you were competitive in the early going, like you said, the two best chances. How did you feel overall you were in terms of, do you think a Hibs run was maybe a fair result?
I think overall, I don't think we can complain too much about it. I think that the early part of the game, I thought we were good. I thought the two goals we conceded were avoidable. However, in saying that, the second half then becomes a challenge because you're 2-0 down, and because of how the season has went for these group of players so far, that it's a test of character, because to come out to a venue like this against the league leaders when you're 2-0 behind, and the pleasing thing was I don't think they buckled as a group. I think we could have played better second half in terms of what we created. I don't think we created a huge amount. We looked probably more threatening first half, but their desire to try and stay in the game was there. So that's a starting point. For me, over the last couple of games, there's no questioning their want to do well for the football club. We need to lift their confidence, we need to improve their self-belief, and we're doing things day in, day out on the training pitch, and we will get there. I keep saying it, but we'll get through this period and they'll be better for it. But at the moment, we need to ride through that.
And obviously you made quite a few changes for the team that you played for your first game against Dundee United. What was you thinking about that? Was it just you got to trying to get to know some of the players more, or you just impressed in training?
I think that a couple of them were enforced, obviously, with Gary McKenzie and Rocco Quinn being unavailable through injury. So, and system-wise, we tried to play in a way that we thought would give us the best opportunity to win the game. And when you look at the early part of the game, it probably worked okay for us. And then even throughout that, I think we did remain competitive. So, I think it's assessing the squad, but equally, we look at each game individually and try and pick a team that gives us the best opportunity to win that. But I'm learning more and more about the whole squad all the time, both on the training pitch and, I said, on matches. Only the second game that I've seen them, and for example, young Kyle McGuinness is somebody that I've got to know over the past couple of weeks. I didn't really know him my first week at the club, and I've got to know and was really pleased with him today in terms of coming on at that environment and doing so well in the second half.
Obviously, I was going to come on to that, Kyle McGuinness. How pleased were you with his performance? Because it's obviously a big step up from the 20s to come to a place like Easter Road and come in for the 45 minutes and play like he did.
Yeah, I mean, I would suppose it might have been an element of surprise even for him to get the opportunity to play at half time, because you would look around at some of the other players on the bench, and I just think that, looking at the whole club and the squad that's there, he's a midfielder that's got terrific energy. He's aggressive, but he carries the ball at pace, and he's a good footballer as well. And I thought he was excellent in the development game earlier this week, and I thought he did really well. I thought the early part of it, when he came on, I thought he was really good. I think he tired a little bit just with probably the adrenaline side of it, and he was playing against good midfielders in there, but then he finished the game strongly as well. So for me, really encouraging, because to put an 18-year-old into that environment and to stand up to it and do so well is really positive for the future, and hopefully he can kick on from this again and be part of our squad moving forward at first team level. Does his performance today keep him in contention then for Tuesday night? Yeah, I mean, he's now, Kyle and Dan White, who were on the bench today, Kyle McAllister was in the squad. These players are there on merit, because they're ones that, have been able to look at a lot of development players and see where they're at in terms of training, then in the development games, and these two in particular, I think, have done really well, and I think they're at a stage where they could handle this, in terms of the physicality and how they are as players. And for me, he's certainly probably propelled himself further forward again in the thinking, because he's obviously been around it to be involved in the squad today. But his performance in the second half was what I expected from him. It was the kind of, was there a risk element to it? Of course there is, but sometimes you don't know until you throw young players into that environment. And for him, it's about maintaining those standards like everybody at the club. And obviously, Kyle came on for Ryan Hardy at half time.
he obviously had a clatter with the goalkeeper and looked like he was a wee bit sore. Was that kind of why he came off? How is he?
Yeah, he was unable to continue second half. We're unsure at the moment whether it's the impact from the challenge or from when he fell. So he'll obviously be assessed at the moment. Then we're back in first thing tomorrow morning, and we'll look at where we are. There's a couple of other bumps and bruises in there because obviously we've got a quick turnaround to Tuesday's match as well.
Obviously, you say quick turnaround to come thick and fast. How difficult is that game going to be, or is it easier maybe to get up for a derby because of how big a game it is?
I think it's. I don't find it difficult. I don't think the players should either. The message from them after the game is about things we can do better, of course, but we're getting there. I genuinely feel as if we're getting there. Speaking to people that have obviously seen a lot more of us than I have this season, feel as if there's a lot more promising signs than the negative ones. And I keep saying it, I really enjoy this job. I enjoy being a manager. I enjoy trying to get the best. I'm incredibly disappointed to lose the game, yeah, and I've got a feeling for this football club anyway, and it grows every day I'm in this job because I want to do this job tremendously well for the opportunity that I've been given. So I think that the game Tuesday is a brilliant game for us. I've certainly approached it in the way that I'm desperate for it to come around. I think the players are as well, because I think they know that the two games I've had to date under my tenure have been tough, really tough games, teams that are right up at the top of the league. This game Tuesday and the following Saturday again are ones that are around us that we say if we go and produce a similar type of performance and we can increase that conviction in the final third, then we've got a good chance of going and winning it.
And then on Saturday it's Dumbarton at home as well. How does that kind of come? Do you even start thinking about that with the Morton game, or do you just kind of solely focus on that?
No, we will start working from that post Tuesday again. That game, certainly we'll have a report from the Dumbarton game today prior to that, and we'll have a look at it, but certainly the most of the focus is on Tuesday night's game, and the next one's, it's cliched, but the next one is always the most important one, and Tuesday, for obvious reasons outside the norm, is hugely important for us. So I'm really looking forward to the game, looking forward to seeing the players and going inside increasing that belief in winning the match.